So you heard about those NBA players. I'm now pushing back against the mandates. So here's an NBA player, and you tell me if this guy sounds like a kook or sounds like someone who's thoughtful. You tell me.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. Uh, what is it about the vaccine that makes you uh, hesitant to get it?
I would start with I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity, has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and is still evolving. Um, I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies, with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without having the vaccine. Um, I would say honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. Um, yeah, I would say that's a couple of the reasons that I would say I'm hesitant at this time. But at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
Wow, he sounds like a crazy person. That guy's a kook, Trumper, stump, horse paste, Trumper. Holy shit, does that fuck things up for the establishment when someone like that, who's successful and popular, an African American, speaks so eloquently to puncture their narrative about mandates? Isn't that amazing? That's got to be hell for them. Thank you. I just wanted to show how badly I was misrepresented, share my views on things. To see that many share my opinion is encouraging. Whether you are vaxxed or not, you're free to your own convictions, and I stand with you and against bullying. Keep the faith, and God bless.
Jonathan, Jamie Say, WKMG. Wondering if you can comment on the Rolling Stone article and your comments that appeared on that about you not getting a vaccination, why you don't want to get a vaccination, and were you misquoted in that article?
I would start by saying that I was pretty badly misrepresented in the Rolling Stone article, and because of that, I can understand anyone who may say they don't transparently or overtly trust the media. In a frustrated tweet yesterday, I had noted that true journalism was dying. And to that, I would say that I appreciate every single one of you, those that try their best to correctly share the thoughts, the ideas, and the heart of the people that they're asking questions of. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every healthcare worker and person in Orlando and all across the world that have worked tirelessly to keep us safe. My mom has worked in healthcare for a really long time. I thank God, I'm grateful that I live in a society where vaccines are possible and we can protect ourselves and have the means to protect ourselves in the first place. But with that being said, it is my belief that the vaccine status of every person should be their own choice, and completely up to them, without bullying, without being pressured, or without being forced into doing so. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm uncomfortable with taking the vaccine at this time. I think that we're all different. We all come from different places. We've all had different experiences and hold dear to different beliefs. And what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
What a kook. I mean, geez. I mean, honest to God. Selfish. That guy, he should be taken out of society and not allowed to go anywhere. Restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, no airplanes, no cabs, libraries. He shouldn't. That guy's crazy. So he had COVID.
Yes.
Having COVID, having SARS-CoV-2 once confers much greater immunity than a vaccine. That's in Science magazine. Israelis who had an infection were more protected against the Delta coronavirus variant than those who had an already high effectively COVID-19 vaccine. So if you already had COVID, you have better protection against a reinfection or the Delta variant than someone who got the vaccine. That's what that says. Israelis who were infected, who had COVID, were more protected against the Delta coronavirus variant than those who had the COVID vaccine. But you're going to make that guy get a vaccine anyway. Even though we know that, although rare, there are side effects.
There was a study that came out of Israel about natural immunity, and basically the headline was that natural immunity provides a lot of protection, even better than the vaccines alone. What are people to make of that? So as we talk about vaccine mandates, I get calls all the time. People say, I've already had COVID, I'm protected, and now the study says maybe even more protected than the vaccine alone. Should they also get the vaccine? How do you make the case to them?
You know, that's a really good point, Sanjay. I don't have a really firm answer for you on that.
So he's got no answer to that. But now people have to get fired from their jobs. That guy, well, look what Rolling Stone, here's their article. The NBA's anti-vaxxers are trying to push around the league, and it's working. He's not an anti-vaxxer. He had COVID. He has greater immunity than a vaccine will give you. That doesn't make him an anti-vaxxer. But that's Rolling Stone, which started the bullshit story about ivermectin. Remember that? That everybody reported. Rachel Maddow still leaves her tweet up about it. Everybody repeated it. The Intercept asswipes. Everybody repeated that bullshit story about ivermectin and that Rolling Stone printed. Everybody repeated it. And it was a 100% bogus story. That's Rolling Stone. And this is what they're calling guys like that an anti-vaxxer. That's by Matt Sullivan. Nice job, Matt. Great job. I'm sure your parents are proud. You are one of the reasons why people don't trust the media anymore. You're one of the reasons why this video is going to get way more views than your stupid fucking article. Thanks for being so shitty. Because you're giving me a lane in a career. Conspiracy theories in the locker room. Mask police in the arena. Superstars trying to avoid the shot. After bringing back the culture from COVID, basketball confronts its own civil war. What garbage? This is such garbage. Oh, maybe here's that great Rolling Stone article. Gunshot victims left waiting as horse dewormer overdoses overwhelm Oklahoma hospitals, doctors say. First of all, this is an article from September 21st. They're all wearing winter coats. So they just pick up some bullshit photo. They're all wearing winter coats. And this was 1,000% wrong. September 3rd. Sorry, September 3rd, not 21st. September 3rd. So a few days after August, everybody in Oklahoma is wearing their parkas. I don't know if you noticed that. And this was 100%, this was a made-up story. There was no one left. There was no victims left waiting in a thing. Nobody Nobody was overdosing on anything. This was all made up, 100% made up. Rolling Stone did it. Here's the message from the hospital. Although Dr. Jason McLeod is not an employee of NHS Sequoia, he is affiliated with the Met. That's where the story came from. This guy told it to a reporter, and nobody fact-checked it. He has not worked at our Salt Hill location in over 2 months. Doesn't even work there. They have not treated any patients due to complications related to taking ivermectin. This includes not treating any patients for ivermectin overdose. All patients who have visited our emergency room have received medical attention as appropriate. Our hospital has not had to turn away any patients seeking emergency care. Glenn Greenwald tweets, says the only reason Rolling Stone is calling this an update, they did an update. That's what they just slapped the statement from the hospital onto their story. They didn't take down the story. How is that journalism? He says the only reason Rolling Stone is calling this an update, as opposed to what it so plainly is, a retraction, is because liberal outlets know that their readers don't care at all if they publish fake news, as long as it's done with the right political motives and goals. So Democrats know people are lying about ivermectin. They know they're lying about everything, but they don't care because it's a lie that reinforces their political prejudices. Research identify groups hesitant about COVID-19. Who are those groups who are hesitant? A study conducted by researchers from Carnegie Mellon University at the University of Pittsburgh reviewed January to May 2021 responses of an approximately 1 million Americans per month to assess trends in vaccine acceptance. The largest decrease in hesitancy between January and May by education group was in those with a high school education or less. Hesitancy held constant in the most educated group, those with a PhD. By May of 2021, PhDs were the most hesitant group. I thought it was all redneck, high school dropout Trump voters. The study also highlights key differences in hesitancy by race and age subgroups. For example, in May, younger black people are more hesitant than younger white people, while the reverse is true in older populations. Generally, COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy was higher among the young, ages 18 to 24, non-Asian people, and less educated, high school diploma or less, adults, and those with PhDs. So that's it's a real study. UPMC, Carnegie Mellon University, University of Pittsburgh. So there you go. Everyone wants this is some kind of bullshit culture war that the Rolling Stone is a big part in pushing, that the people who are against vaccines are just dumb Trump rednecks, Trump, and they all deserve to die, and they're all bad people. But Dr. Fauci doesn't have an answer for the people like that NBA player who doesn't sound like a high school dropout to me. Where's your answer for him? He doesn't have an answer. Thank God Matt Taibbi got away from that Rolling Stone. What a piece of shit organization they are. They are God damn it. They suck. They all suck, though. It's not just Rolling Stone. The Intercept, the New York Times, Washington Post, especially MSNBC and CNN. And there's Anderson Cooper going, well, I'm just going to let that information go in one ear and out the other. So there you go. That's having COVID gives you much greater protection than a vaccine. So why would you mandate that somebody already has greater protection than the vaccine get the vaccine? Why would you mandate that? Why would you mandate that? Could it be the influence of big pharma's billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars and stranglehold on our government and our media? Could that be it? Because he doesn't know why. He doesn't have a good answer. He just said he doesn't have a good answer. Why someone who already had COVID needs to be vaccinated and mandated to do so. He doesn't have an answer for you, Fauci. No answer. But Rolling Stone still going to write pieces of shit articles like this. We're doing a live Jimmy Dore show in Sacramento, October 3rd. We just added a second show. Plus, we're doing stand-up comedy in Florida, in West Palm Beach and Dania. And then we're going to Buffalo, Baltimore, Tempe, and Portland. Go to jimmydoorecomedy.com for a link for all our tickets.